We all ready? Okay, I will call this meeting to order. If you will all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Next on the agenda is the roll call. Jamie, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Queenie Bars.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks.
Here.
Trustee Betsy Harrison.
Here.
Trustee Ed Allen.
Here.
Trustee Brent McMurder.
Here.
Trustee Cindy Simpson.
Here.
Trustee Denise Bryan.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we will continue on. Next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda, and I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the agenda. I'll second it.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks and a second by Trustee Ed Hallam to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sound. Motion carries. Next is the approval of the minutes of March 9th, 2022, and I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve the minutes of March 9, 2022 as presented by staff.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the minutes of March 9th, 2022 as presented by staff by Trustee Cindy Simpson and seconded by Trustee Brent McWhirter. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sound. Okay, motion carries. Next on the agenda is audience business, and I don't have anybody signed up. You ladies in the audience want to speak? Okay. Moving right along to announcements. Heather.
I have a couple of opportunities. So, excuse me, the co-working space project that we've been working on. Well, first of all, staff did an amazing job while I was gone. Picked up all of the slack, picked up all of the projects. I came back to a nice clean desk and just sent emails. They were amazingly awesome. So I wanted you guys to know that you guys have great stuff. The co-working space project, they have completed like the survey portion of the project. We only received like 16 responses. We even extended the deadline. There's not a lot of interest. Now, what happened is we were then approached by some private citizens who were like, hey, I want to do my business here. We don't necessarily want to compete with private business, but so what we're going to do is we're going to finish the project. We have grant money.
Right.
We're going to finish the project. We have done the survey and the feasibility study. And so, for example, over here, if it's done here in this square footage and that type of thing, and it is fully booked and it is fully utilized, the revenue is about $3,000 a year. Probably not something that the town would move forward with. However, the next phase of the grant is an actual business plan. Because we have grant money, we're going to finish out the project, we're going to spend that grant money, then we're going to make that information available to whoever privately wants to come start a business. That'll at least give them some jumping off information if they want to start on somewhere else. We will utilize this space for town hall, but I don't anticipate us starting a co-working space at this location. Could be wrong when this whole project is over, but just wanted to let you guys know that's, yes.
And so that wouldn't jeopardize the grant money at all?
No.
Okay, because it's just like research.
The grant is for a survey,
Okay,
a feasibility study, and a business plan.
okay.
We don't even know if it's, so I personally do not know that it would be worth the time and the staffing and the effort. For if only 16 people responded, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Now, having said that, many people don't maybe not want to deal with town hall. If a private party starts it, they would have a better chance of success. So we'll continue our research since we have the grant anyway, and then we'll make that available to the public. We'll post it online, people will get that along with it. But so Jamie's done an awesome job at taking that project and kind of running with it. But I just wanted to say, I don't know. I don't think that we're going to end up doing it, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys posted.
Cool.
I do need you guys to start thinking about board retreat dates. Not you, Brent. But, so our election is April 5th. Jamie and Georgia have been collecting the ballots and checking them in. She said that we've got between 75 and 100 already back. So keep your fingers crossed that we'll get a good turnout. The April 13th election, we will give you the unofficial results, but the canvas will not be complete. So we will not be swearing people in that day. We will be swearing people in at the April 27th meeting, so I'll need you to attend that meeting at the very beginning. But at the April 13th meeting, we will give you the unofficial election results and then the board induction schedule that we do that says here's when CERSA's coming, here's when the retreat's going to be, here's training, here's the county meeting, great kind of stuff. So we'll give you all that at the April 13th meeting. So please start thinking about retreat dates in May or June.
No,
CERSA's
June.
coming in June for training. What?
No, June.
Well, like I said,
I mean,
just start, you guys start thinking about it.
CML's in June.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll set that date on the 27th when your new board is elected. But, so whenever you guys want, I'm here, but I need you all to start thinking about dates.
Yeah.
And then, that's all I have right now. I'm gonna catch up tons and planning and zoning and land use and development, so we'll see what happens. But, and staff is still not taking on any new projects or anything that's gonna add to the workload. We're still looking at the end of June to finish 4 or 5 of our projects. And then we'll get together before we start talking about 2023 with you guys. One other thing that you'll see on the April 13th agenda are the trustee protocols. Those were written way back when, and we've amended them from time to time. But David has sent them over to Sam at CERSA to just give us, it's been a couple of years since anybody's looked at them. So we have David and CERSA looking at those. So I'll be bringing those to you guys on April 13th with some suggestions for you guys to kind of adopt the new protocols, or if you so choose at that time, put it off until April 27th. But kind of wanted to have the protocols in place before the new board is elected, because they may not be as experienced. So I would like an experienced board to look at those. So we'll have those to you guys. I think Sam's finished his review and I haven't looked at it yet, but we'll have those to you guys at the next meeting. And that's all I have. Jamie, do you have anything?
So tentatively, August 13th, company out of Phoenix wants to host a 100K and 50K here. The lady came to Mancos and fell in love, and so she wants to start in Boyle Park and end in Boyle Park. She's been working with the Forestry Service and CDOT and us, and so the date so far, like I said, tentatively is August 13th. And we'll have, and she said prior to pandemic years, they had about 300 runners show up for this.
And they do it in different locations every time?
Huh.
100K?
100K, yes, it'll be a 24-hour race.
Whoa!
That's crazy.
Wow, look at our law enforcement. I mean, that's
Justin's already looked at it too.
okay. I was gonna say, wow, that's a big one. 100K.
August 13th?
But we can't use Boyle Park after dark, right? For organized events, I thought that
That'd
was
be
part of our
in
deed.
They can use it for it, they can't sleep there. But they can get lights and stuff like that. They do that during these days.
we have let them sleep there with firefighters.
I'm sorry?
When we had firefighters come in, we did let them sleep there.
We don't generally let people.
Under
we're
certain-
not gonna let people sleep.
Yeah.
Under certain, I mean, you might,
I mean, that was an
a
emergency.
spatial,
A race isn't.
you know.
They're
Yeah.
running for 24 hours straight.
Yeah. I just thought it was a deed restriction. I guess,
No, no, no.
might not.
No,
The only big restriction is that they can't sell alcohol in there.
Oh, okay.
because we used to have camping in the park.
So it used to be campground.
Yeah, it used to be a campground in the park.
Yeah.
300 people, that's a big race.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's a big deal. That's a lot
Yeah.
of people.
It's like a fifth of our population.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Mhm.
At one point,
Yeah, but I mean, it was probably early 80s when we bought it. Well, got rid of the camping as well.
Okay, so next is the committee reports, Mancos School District.
Mancos School District, I went there on Wednesday thinking how great it would be to find it, on Monday, and they didn't have one because it was spring break.
Oh,
Every building, and every door, and I'm going,
Let me
God dang it, I'm here, why aren't you?
Oh, jeez.
Man,
Okay, and Montezuma County Commissioner, and we don't have him here tonight to tell us what's going on, so.
is he not gonna be coming, or, you know? I know that they said that they were going to.
Well, he's been here, so don't know where he's at tonight.
No problem. I
Never
just didn't know
heard
if
from
it
him.
was gonna, if that's something we should leave or not.
meetings on spring break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they're not, we should take that off.
No, they're supposed to
They're
come,
still-
yeah, and so he
Yeah.
must be out of town or something, because I think he would be here.
Can't make everyone.
Okay. So the next is the discussion and action items. First one is Resolution 7, Series 2022, the DOLA Affordable Housing Grant.
And I need to recuse myself.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait till he leaves the room.
Get out of here.
Run, Fred, run.
Holding up the meetings.
Train for that 100K.
So Gretchen has done a phenomenal job. This is the grant that we've been talking about with the Conservation District, where they want to build rentals on their property over there. That you guys approved the subdivision for affordable housing. So now, DOLA has a grant for construction if you already own the land, and the Conservation District does. The town had to be the applicant. The only reason I agreed to it is because Gretchen did all of the work. All I did was copy and paste and submit the grant. At the time, the website or the application portal said we just need a letter, so I got a letter and we submitted it. Then they came back the next week and said, oh, can we have a resolution? So that's what this is. It doesn't obligate us for funding. It will be a DOLA grant, will be required to comply with their reporting requirements. Gretchen is going to do all of the work. I'm just going to do the uploads. I'm just going to copy and paste and do uploads. So, and we'll just be the pass-through for it. So once you guys approve this, I may have another application for DOLA for the creative district who is looking at a certain location to do kind of the same thing, the planning portion of it, but kind of the same thing. I met with them today, and if they will agree to do the same thing that Gretchen does, you may see another resolution. The deadline is April 1, so I may apply for the grant with a letter, because that's what the website says. But you may see another resolution at the first meeting in April. That's what, I don't know if they want a letter or resolution. So I'm gonna start with the easy one, and if they want something hard, I'll come to you guys.
Okay.
But I don't mind doing that kind of stuff because it doesn't add to our workload. And some of these things only the town can do.
Right.
Now, there are some people and organizations, I will be very honest, I will not be a pastor.
Yeah.
When we are this busy.
Yeah.
But I don't mind for organizations that are gonna do most of the work. The application process for me was like 15 minutes to copy and paste and upload. That I totally.
Yeah. Well, and this results in something really cool for the
And I
town.
mean,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
housing's kind of a big deal, so.
Yeah.
I have been turning people away on projects, but I don't like doing this kind of stuff. Because it also doesn't affect the residents. They don't,
Yeah.
what I choose to do, how it doesn't affect the workload. Do you know what I mean? And then you probably because we're all working for you.
Just out of curiosity, you said everybody's working more than 40 hours. Everybody's on, are they on salary or are they on?
All our department heads are on salary.
Okay.
Hourly employees do not work more than 40 unless they receive prior approval from the department head for snow events or law enforcement, you know, that kind of thing. Department heads.
Blowing up pipes.
Yeah,
Blowing up pipes.
Exactly. Yeah, so department heads are on salary. And we all have email on our phones, we all have the town phone on our phones, so we're working.
Yeah.
So we all just need to get through change. But, so that's why I say there are times I have been turning people away. I have people that ask, will you do this? And I said, no, sorry. But I'm willing to do this one, and I'm willing to do the creative district if they will kind of do kind of corrections. She made this. She
Yeah.
did a phenomenal job.
Mhm. This is really a good application. It's very good.
I was actually in trial when she did all of this, so I did not help her with this at all. I came in one night on a Friday after, and like I said, 15, 20 minutes and it was done. So
That's awesome.
and it's just quarterly reporting, which again, she's going to do, and I'm going to copy and paste it out.
All right, anybody have any questions or any comments? And I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve Resolution 7, Series 2022, a resolution supporting the agreement between the town of Mancos and the Colorado Department of Local Affairs.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Cindy Simpson and second by trustee Brent McWhirter and Betsy Harrison to approve Resolution 7, Series 2022, a resolution supporting the agreement between the town of Mancos and the Colorado Department of Local Affairs. Jamie, would you call the vote?
Trustee Betsy Harrison.
Aye.
Trustee Ann Helen.
Aye.
Trustee Brent McWhirter.
Aye.
Trustee Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Denise Ryan.
Hi.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. No, don't tell him that.
It can't be me. Sorry, Fred, I went down in flames.
After all that work.
Yeah, thank Gretchen for me, would you?
She did great.
She did all of the work and made it possible.
No, I think I wrote 2 lines in that whole thing.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, then it's track.
Yeah, those
Well,
were the
what
two.
are we doing? What are we doing?
I want to rethink my vote.
Okay, next on the agenda is the short-term rental discussion. Heather.
So we currently have a moratorium. We've been talking about this for a little bit, and then we kicked it to P&Z. P&Z did a phenomenal job. They did a ton of research. And they have come up with these 6 kind of hard items, which is what we asked them to do. So just to recap, there will be no short-term rentals allowed in the residential district unless the property owner lives on site. They did a little bit of different. You guys have the local owner as anybody living in Montgomery County. P&Z said we want the local owner to live in 81328. Doesn't have to live in town, but has to live in 81328. I need some guidance from you all on that one. There are local owner requirements for short-term rentals in mixed use and commercial. So they have to, the local owner has to own the property. There are no exemptions for ownership, none. Once we figure out what ownership is, that's it. Current business holders will have 2 years to come into compliance, and they're recommending a cap of 15 short-term rental permits. Now, some background on that. They did ask me, and I did research, what are other small communities in Colorado doing? And it kind of ran the gamut. By zone, by district, a percentage, a number, it was kind of all over the place. One thing that our consultant said though was, start small because you can always increase, but you are going to potentially run into a legal challenge if you start big and try to decrease. So.
And how many do we have now?
I'm sorry?
How many do we have now?
I
Licensed.
think we still have the same 8, 10, 12, something like that.
It was like,
So you're almost limited already. I mean, you got 12 and 15. You got-
And I don't think we have 12 anymore, but
Yeah.
we're not adding a whole lot right now.
Okay.
So, and then you guys had said, and I think the planning commission had said, let's look at this every year or every 2 years. So I just need to know, number one, are you all okay with that? And number two, with regard to local owner, do I use the 81328 planning commission, or do I use the Montezuma County board? That's just the only thing they need. Otherwise, they did a really good job. They had asked, are there any legal challenges to existing short-term regulations? And there have been none in Colorado, so they did do some really good research.
I guess I've got a little bit of a question here. Item 2, or number 2, it says local owner is defined as primary residence. Okay. So this is someone that's not an ADU, but using their house as a short-term rental, the house itself.
No.
The local owner will be for mixed use and commercial district short-term rentals. Because in the residential zone,
Yeah.
property owner must live on site.
Okay,
So that's
so
how the
you
local
can,
owner
so
doesn't-
I guess I'm going back to, if someone owns a house and wants to turn it into an Airbnb and not live there, they can, that's
They can't
a
do
no.
that.
I'm making sure that's what I understand. Okay,
Not in the residential zone.
Right.
Now, there's a house right here on the corner, my cousin lives in the blue, without the, whatever that's called, this blue house on the corner here. That's actually zoned commercial.
Mhm.
If he sold it and somebody bought it and wanted to use it as a short-term rental, because it's in the commercial district, they either have, the property owner either has to live in the 81328 zip code, or they have to live in Montezuma County. What do you guys prefer? That's what I need to know.
Can I get a clarification kind of back to what Ed was saying? So if you just have this house, a house like you were just describing, and it's in the residential district, you could not use that as even if you lived somewhere in 81328,
Right.
you still could not.
You
You
have
have to live on site.
They're saying that in the residential zones, all of our residential zones, in order to have a short-term rental, the property owner must live on
Okay.
site. They must live on the property.
because some people do Airbnb rooms, not
Right.
rooms.
right.
So if you're living there, you can rent a room.
Or you have an ADU
Or
or
if you have
something.
an,
Yeah.
or unless you have an ADU,
Yeah.
you could do the same.
That you had to be, okay.
So you need a license though to rent out a room. You
Yeah.
should have a
Oh,
license.
you have to have,
All of these have.
all of these require
Any
license.
short-term rental. will
Right.
require a
But I know there's a
license.
lot in town that do not have, that are renting out rooms.
But it's required a business license, correct?
Yeah.
So it's a business license, okay.
Currently. I personally like the 81328 limitation. And I also, like the definition and separation recommendation on what a person is. So it doesn't include any corporation, partnership, firm, because it would be real easy for somebody just to register an LLC in the 81328 and really they live in
Yeah,
Timbuktu.
Mhm.
So I like that, those two things, so.
And if we don't have 12, I'd like to cap it at 12. Housing is so hard to come by in Mancos right now.
That is the other thing that the planning commission asked me to research, which was, if common sense is that there's a correlation between the number of short-term rentals versus the number of housing stock. The more short-term rentals, the less long-term housing stock. It was funny because there were a couple of them that said there was no correlation. And there were some that said yes, there was. So again, it also ran the gamut of answers. Some of them did not see an increase in their housing stock when they moved in other short-term rentals. So
Yeah.
they did ask me to look at that. I believe the packet is still online. If you guys want to look at that packet, do you know what I'm saying? With all of that information, but they did a really good job of. I think they did a really good job with their research. I don't know if that's you have any input because you guys are the liaisons to the planning commission, but they asked some intelligent questions.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the questions that they asked, but
I'm fine with the way that they've laid it out here.
Okay.
Betsy?
So you like the 81328?
I do.
And do you like the 15?
I think 15 is fine to start with, and
You can't go down, we can always go up.
right.
That's why I like the 12.
But
We
I
don't
think-
have 12 right now.
I don't think we need to go down though necessarily at this point. If we have 10 right now, you know, I think 15. If we get to that point, we can check it every year. I wouldn't go down any more though than I think 15 is just a fine number right
You
now.
can always go down if there isn't that many.
No, you can't, they say you have a legal issue when you try to go down.
If you try-
If you already have 12
12,
and you want to go to 10, then you
But
could
if
have
you
legal
only have
issue because
10
you're
in existence, you can cap it at that number.
right.
I have a question, actually. At one point, we were talking about a cap in residential areas and a cap in commercial. We had it kind of split out.
That was gonna be my
What-
question.
You guys did, well, you did have that discussion, but at the time, the consensus was, no, we just want to tell them how.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Now,
Yeah.
you can change that and give me different info. Now would be the time.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
No, I think
it's okay.
I think because we kept
15
saying
total, that's in combination.
That's everybody.
yeah, we kept asking, you know, what was our total amount, and we kind of had like a 11 to 12 was what we were at the time when we had the discussion, and that's when we were like, okay, let's just do it
Yeah.
as a town-wide number.
I would just hate to see all 15 in the commercial area and then we don't really have any commercial area. You know, but
Well,
that's fine.
Well, I
We
mean,
don't
I
have that
think
many
we have to
homes in the
assume that
commercial
everybody that's doing it now is gonna apply for a license, so, and they're mostly residential anyway.
I'll say there's only 8 homes in the commercial
Right now,
right now.
well, there's one that's going to be turned into an SDR if this moratorium is lifted. And that's in the commercial zone. I don't have a lot of heartburn about having short-term rentals in commercial, because we do get money from them. We get
Yeah.
sales
Well,
tax,
and-
we get. do you know-
Lodging.
And once it goes to short-term rental, it becomes a business and then they can't go back to being a house, right? Okay.
So that's what I'm having.
Well, sorry.
Well, and the other thing is, remember, we already have a couple downtown.
Huh?
You know, there's a residential space behind the Beehive, and there's a residential space behind the yoga studio,
Mhm.
right downtown on Grand Avenue.
Mm.
So I don't know whether they'll both, one is Airbnb now and one is long-term rental, but they could change.
There are a couple of our current business licenses that with this ownership requirement, they're going to be opportunities.
So
Unless
they're-
they sell it.
So there'll be more space for others to.
They can switch to long-term rentals.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
There are
for
a couple
sure.
of our existing licenses that if these changes go through, whether it's 81328 or Montezuma County.
Yeah.
They're going to be.
The other thing that the planning commission talked about was just, there's a lot of implementation that goes with this because there's, you know, new licensing, there's, you know, code requirements that have to be followed up on. There's a lot of stuff, so if we start real small and simple, and then we build in an annual review, it can, you know, it can always change, and if we get 53 houses on the Nolan property, then we can add another 5 short-term rentals, I don't know, but, you know, if
Yeah.
we start small and simple and get the whole process implemented, then we can make changes later if we need to.
Fred, you think quiet?
I think a cap of 15 is reasonable. And I'd like to see the 81328 go.
Well, I guess I shouldn't speak much because I own it. So.
Is it licensed?
Staying-
Ouch.
No. Well, it's a little different, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's licensed and all that.
Yeah.
You know, so I will abstain and vote. So I really, I have, I see no problems.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Denise?
Well, I think capping at 15 is good. That's starting small, and I'm fine with the 81328 zip code having the owner live in that.
So what I'll do, that's a majority. So what I'll do is, the next steps are to have, Elizabeth draft an ordinance, like the actual ordinance, and we'll have all of the enforcement and licensing and all that other stuff. It will go to the planning commission at a public hearing on April 20th. She will be on site that day. So if the board wants to attend that planning commission meeting, we're gonna have some other items as well. But if you guys want to attend that meeting, please let me know. I'll advertise it, and then you can all be here when she's here to ask questions and answers. Because once the planning commission here goes to that public hearing and hears her information, and they will make the final recommendation to the board, then I'll notice a public hearing at board level, and you guys will, at that point, either adopt the ordinance or send it back for changes or whatever. So what I will try to remember to do is, when I send the draft ordinance to P&Z in their packet, I'm also going to try to remember to send it to you guys. I post it on the website, but I'll try to remember to specifically email it to you all, so that you can either ask me questions that you want us to ask Elizabeth, that you want the planning commission to consider, or you can decide if you want to attend it. But she will be here, she's going to be, in her budget is one trip down here.
Okay.
And we're going to use that for the planning commission.
Yeah,
For the draft
that's good.
ordinance.
One question I have, it says local owner is defined as requirements for SDR in the mixed use and commercial. So in the commercial, if you have a building, but somebody else owns the business, let's just say the Columbine, okay? They own the business, Betsy owns the building, property owner has to live in the 8132. Okay, all right.
Okay, so we'll get, I'll reach out to Elizabeth and we'll get going kind of with this and the draft ordinance together with this plus enforcement and application and all that other good stuff, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's good.
Tell them thank you for excellent work.
Yeah.
It was Elizabeth and David. They did really awesome work on that. The planning commission, phenomenal job.
Yeah,
Phenomenal
that's
job on this project.
Board has their own rules.
So,
Yeah.
but honestly, the plan, they asked good questions, they asked for good research, I mean, they did a great job.
Yeah.
They made my job easy on this particular one.
Tell them thanks for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is items for the April 13th, 2022 agenda. We have the unofficial 2022 election results, the design review guidelines, the vision statement, and the trustee protocol update. Anybody else have anything else they want?
I hesitate to rip this Band-Aid off, but could we maybe at some point, whether it's an email update or on the agenda under announcements, get an update on the latest throwing us for a loop on the gravel pit thing?
Ooh, I actually, I have that project, I'm actively working it. Shaq and I have received firm information from the state. I am going to meet with Shaq next week. We are going to get on the same page. I'm going to make sure that we can direct staff to be on the same page. And then we're going to get you and the commissioners together and update you all the same.
Okay.
But the state, I personally feel the holdup is going to be a survey. We need a survey. I don't know when the county surveyor can put it on his schedule. That's why I want to get together with Shaq so that we can decide what our staff can do and what timeline before we, bring it to your guys' level again. Because if him and I can get the staffing to be moving forward, then it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
If we run into any hitches, that's what I'm gonna need you guys and the commissioners to.
Because there was that whole thing with the, oh, now it's a subdivision and you have to come through our process. And I'm like, no.
Totally.
Okay.
Reached out to the state, and got an answer from her. Shaq and I have a plan to move forward. My concern is going to be how quickly they will move.
Yeah.
Because they have to lead this process as the pit permit holder. So I want him and I to get together, because some of the stuff is under his direct control, some of it is not. So I want him and I to get together and figure out what timelines do I have, can he direct this, do I need the commissioners, do I need you guys? So we have a plan, I just need to figure out how quickly.
Yeah, because I think we're all tired of the roadblocks that keep throwing up.
Yeah, I did meet with them.
Roadblocks.
And, there's nothing in statute.
Okay. I
Because
didn't
I
think
asked
so.
for the statute.
Yeah.
And, there is a statute, but it doesn't necessarily apply to this particular instance. So I did meet with their planning commission after we had a little bit of a discussion, we all got on the same page. And then I reached out to the state, they're on the same page. So now we just have to figure out a timeline to see who can do what at the county level, because it's several departments. It's the planning department, it's the road and bridge department, it's the county surveyor.
Yeah.
And some of those Shaq does work
Right.
with, like the county surveyor, though, he's an elected official.
Right.
So I want Shaq and I to get together and figure out who's gonna do that and what timeline, and then we'll bring it back to you.
That's the county weed department. Most
If
importantly.
No, it's the road department.
If the
important.
county surveyor can't get around to it, can Shaq hire a surveyor? Okay. Good.
And there's no longer, the revegetation is no longer a requirement, I confirmed with the state.
Oh, good.
That was
Really? Okay.
That was their, kind of their ace in the hole. We can't do, I know they kept saying that, but I know the weed guy said, no, we can do that.
Yeah, we figured it out. So, and they're doing fine. But we did meet with their office, and we had a little bit of a discussion and came to an agreement. So now, like I said, I just need the timeline for their various departments, and then we'll get both of you guys together.
Awesome. Thank you for that work.
Sure.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the executive session for a conference with the attorney. So I would entertain a motion.
I can make a motion to go into executive session for a conference with the town attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS section 24-6-4024B with regard to ongoing wastewater treatment plant litigation.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks and a second by Trustee Britt McWhorter to go into executive session for a conference with the town attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS section 24-6-4024B for purposes of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions with regard to the ongoing wastewater treatment plant litigation. Jamie, would you call the vote?
Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Betsy Harrison.
Aye.
Trustee Ed Hallam.
Aye.
Trustee Brent McWhorter.
Aye.
Trustee Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Janice Ross.
Aye.
Motion carries, so we will be, David needs to make this, the recording.